Welcome, Ashen Ones, to my Dark Souls 3 100% walkthrough. Whether you're new to the world of Lothric or a seasoned warrior looking for every last item and secret, you've come to the right place. In this series, I'll be guiding you step by step through each area, boss, and hidden nook to ensure you don't miss a single item, weapon, or piece of lore. Along the way, I'll also offer tips and strategies tailored for new players, so if you're feeling overwhelmed or lost, don't worry. You've got this, and I've got your back. So, grab your Estus, equip your swords, and let's dive into the darkness. The journey to 100% starts now. Note that in this guide, I'll focus on guiding new players, not just the place of every item, but things like game mechanics, NPC quest lines. First, let's create our character. When choosing classes, you'll notice there are stats on the right side of the character. If you played From Software games before, then I think you're familiar with this system. I'll explain it briefly. When you kill an enemy or use some consumable items, you receive a currency called souls. You use this currency to buy things and level up by allocating more points into a stat. The more you level up, the more expensive the next level will be. Every stat in this game has a soft cap, and some have a hard cap, meaning reaching the soft cap will yield most value, or you can say, most bang for your buck. Then, from soft cap to hard cap, you'll gain less value, but still worth putting points into. When you reach hard cap, however, there's almost no reason to put more points into that stat unless you've got to hard cap on every other stat, since the increase in value is negligible. Now I'll go into the stats details. I'll try to explain as easy to understand as possible. Let's start with the basic stats, which only affect your character, not the weapon and spell you'll be using. Vigor increases the amount of HP per point allocated. Soft cap at 27 and hard cap at 50. Attunement is a stat that determines the number of attunement slots or the number of spells you can carry at the same time, and also raises focus points. Basically, the more points you have, the more spells you can carry and the longer your mana bar. Attunement has only a soft cap at 35. Endurance is a stat that determines the amount of stamina your character has. It has a soft cap at 40. Vitality is a stat that defines maximum equipment load and strongly determines physical defense and poison resistance. It also affects the other defenses and resistances slightly. Since the increase in defense is quite negligible and armors in this game do not make much of a difference, this stat should not be prioritized to put points in earlier in the game. Next are the scaling stats. Weapons and spells in this game will become stronger the more points you put in these stats. Strength is an attribute for wielding heavy, powerful weapons and heavy great shields. Increases the damage you do with strength scaling weapons and fire resistance. It has a soft cap at 40 and a hard cap at 60. While two-handing a weapon, this stat on that particular weapon is multiplied by 1.5 times. Dexterity is an attribute for wielding advanced weapons. Also reduces spellcasting time and damage from falling. It has a soft cap at 40 and a hard cap at 60. Intelligence is required to cast sorceries and pyromancies, and also boosts magic defense. It has a soft cap at 40 and a hard cap at 60. Faith is required to cast miracles and pyromancies, and also boosts dark defense. It has a soft cap at 40 and a hard cap at 60. Luck is a stat that affects your item discovery rate, which determines how frequently enemies will drop multiple items upon their death. While luck does not influence the damage dealt by bleed and poison effects, it does increase the speed at which these status effects apply to enemies. By investing in luck, you can improve your chances of finding valuable items and enhance your efficiency in applying status effects during combat. Furthermore, increasing your luck also improves your character's overall defense and enhances resistance to curse. However, it is unwise to put points in the stat earlier in the game, since not many weapons scale with luck, and many enemies are resistant to bleed and poison. So that covers the basic knowledge you need to understand about stats. Let's go on and choose our class. In this guide, I'll be using the Knight class. The Knight class has balanced stats, durable armor, and reliable starting equipment. Boasting the highest starting vitality, the Knight can effectively wield heavier gear while maintaining mobility. With a 100% physical defense shield and a well-rounded weapon, this class excels in both offense and defense. While its attunement, Faith and intelligence stats are modest. They allow for future use of basic spells like Heal Aid or Soul Arrow with minimal investment. Starting at level 9, the Knight offers a strong foundation for players seeking a versatile and resilient build. For the Burial Gift, I recommend Life Ring for new players, since more health is always better. But you can choose any other options if you prefer, since all of the Burial Gift items can be acquired later in the game. At the start of the game, you'll be spawned in the Cemetery of Ash. I recommend playing this game with a controller, or else it is quite hard maneuvering around with mouse and keyboard, in my opinion. You can see that you have a consumable item that looks like a yellow bottle at the bottom left of your screen. That's an Estus Flask, a consumable item you can use to heal yourself. The amount of charges and how much it heals per charge can be increased by using items that you can pick up playing the game. Estus Flask recharges every time you rest at a bonfire, and most enemies also respawn when you do so. Take out the first hollow in front of you, then make a right turn. At the end of the road, you can pick up an item called Soul of a Deserted Corpse. This item is a consumable item that can be used to acquire 200 souls. In this game, you can pick up multiple items of this kind with different names that give different amounts of souls. Next, go back onto the main road. Take out the next hollow sitting under a broken fountain. Here you can find an Ashen Estus Flask, which works the same as the Estus Flask, but it restores your FP instead of HP. You can allocate charges between these two later in the game. After going past the broken fountain, you'll arrive at a cross-section. Turn right before this section and kill a hollow leaning against the wall and 2 other hollows right next to the right turn. If you turn right here, you'll encounter a Ravenous Crystal Lizard. It is going to be a tough enemy if you're new to the Souls series and haven't learned how to time your dodge. You don't have to fight this enemy as of right now, but I recommend you do so. Defeating it grants you an amount of souls. Not too much, but it can make an impact this early in the game. And more importantly, that you can learn how to properly time your dodge fighting it. Once you get the hang of it, this fight is super easy. Defeating the Ravenous Crystal Lizard gives you a Titanite scale, and next to it, you can find a soul of an unknown traveler on a corpse. Get back to the main road and kill the hollow with a crossbow. Then, continuing down the road, make a left turn and you'll encounter your first bonfire. Rest at the bonfire to recharge your Estus Flask and gain the Rest Gesture. From here, you continue down the road. I recommend killing some nearby hollows first. Then you come back near where you stopped the first hollow, looking down, and you'll see an item lying on a coffin. You'll have to make a jump for it. It is a Titanite shard. After dropping down, you can see an arena where you'll encounter your first boss, Ayudex Gundyr. Near the gate, if you look down a ledge, you can see an item. Make your way back, but this time go all the way up the hill, killing the hollow, and you can see a path that leads down. There are 2 hollows down this path. You can dodge into the wall on the left to dodge the arrow from the crossbow-wielding hollow. Took out the enemies, and you can find 5 firebombs. Go back into the arena and pull the coiled sword out of Ayudex Gundyr, and the boss fight will begin. If you have killed the ravenous crystal lizard, then this fight won't be much harder. Some of his attacks don't even require you to dodge if you keep moving to his left side. At about half HP, Ayudex Gundyr will turn into a serpent form like the Pus of Man enemy, but his attacks are still relatively easy to dodge. In this form, he is taking more fire damage, so you can use the firebomb you acquired from before, but it is not advised since we will be needing those soon for other purposes. Killing Ayudex Gundyr will grant you a coiled sword and put you in the enkindled state. The enkindled state grants you more HP and the ability to summon other spirits to your world, including other players and NPCs. However, it also makes it possible for dark spirits, including other players and NPCs, to invade you. Once you die, the enkindled state is stripped from your character. You can enter this state again by defeating a boss or using a consumable item called Ember. Open the door in the back of the arena, and in front of you is a broken straight sword. Instead of going up the stairs, you can pass the tombstones and find a ledge with an item and 2 hollows. Kill the enemies and pick up 2 homeward bones. Now go back and climb the stairs. There are 4 hollows here. You can kill them if you like. Before the entrance of Firelink Shrine, you can go right and see some stairs leading up. Pass a couple of stairs. You can see an item on top of a tree. Kill 2 Sleeping Hollow on the right before taking the item, or else you'll be ambushed. Pick up the east-west shield from the corpse on the tree. Keep moving forward, and you will encounter Swordmaster. Swordmaster can be very tough with new players, so if you don't want to fight him right away, you can come back later. However, if you want to fight him, the strategy is simple. 2 things. 1, you have to swing first. His Uchigatana have good range and damage, but the swing is quite slow. If you time it right, he'll be staggered and can't hit you back. Hit him until you're almost out of stamina, then roll back and wait for the stamina to regen. 2, if he puts his sword in the scabbard, do not attack, since there is a very high chance he'll parry you. Wait for him to pull his sword out or keep distant to bait the wide-swinging attack, then you swing back. Do this a couple of times and he should be dead, granting you the Uchigatana and the Master Set. Head back and up the path to the left to pick up an ember from a corpse above the entrance of Firelink Shrine. Continue across to the other side, picking up a homeward bone from a corpse behind a tomb and another ember from the lower ridge. Near the ember, you can find a dog. Dogs in this game are very dangerous. The most effective strategy against them is to either use a shield to block its attack or use a fast weapon to attack it first when it approaches. Now you have finished the Cemetery of Ash section. Go back to the main road and enter Firelink Shrine. Thank you all for watching, and if you find my video helpful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the bell icon. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye, and remember, don't you dare go hollow.